Barakatu. Madayaw ug mayong adlaw kaninyong tanan. Magandang araw sa inyo lahat. Ang mga natutunghayan natin ngayon ay dapat ikabahala ng bawat Pilipinong naniniwala sa demokrasya, anuman ang kanilang paniniwala o kulay sa politika. Nakikita natin kung paano ginagamit ang mga institusyon ng gobyerno at ang pera ng taong bayan laban sa anumang oposisyon. Sa halip na tutukan ang mga tunay na suliraning kinakaharap ng ating mga kababayan, ginagamit ang kapangyarihan upang patahimikin ang mga boses ng mga hindi sumasang-ayon. A democracy cannot survive when those in power see every critic as an enemy and every opposing voice as a threat. I have always believed that the independence of our institutions must be protected. This includes not only the Senate and the House of Representatives as institutions, but every senator and member of the House must be free to perform his or her constitutional duty according to conscience, free from threats, pressure, or any form of intimidation. Good governance does not require the elimination of opposition. Democracy works best when there is a healthy opposition that is free to question. A government that fears dissent is not demonstrating strength. It is revealing insecurity. And that insecurity is reflected in the direction our country is taking today. The current state of our nation reveals three disturbing realities. First, the effort to divert attention from legitimate questions surrounding the flood control controversy. Second, the willingness to disregard constitutional safeguards in pursuit of a politically motivated impeachment. And third, the relentless pursuit of greater political power under the guise of charter change. These are the symptoms of a government that has become more preoccupied with protecting power than serving the people. The Filipino people deserve a government focused on solving problems, not silencing critics, on strengthening institutions, not bending them to political ends, and on serving the nation, not
Nelson, don't cross.
We heard a statement from Senate President Alex Duque-Tan that the members of the majority minority senators all stand in the back.
Sir, bakit daw po hindi dadating?
Dami rin dito.
Bakit daw hindi na dadating, sir? Sabi ni SP Allen, sir.
Para mag-legislate, hindi para mag-absent lamang
At magbulakbol.
Sir, nakikita niyo
Session day na po ka. Sir, paano po tomorrow, last session day na po?
Every day, ang Senate gumagastos ng 25 million sa kuryente, sa utilities, sa sweldo, pero walang session nangyari. Walang batas na na-approve, walang resolution na-approve, pati mga confirmation ng mga military personnel natin hindi na-confirm. Sayang ang bayad ng taong bayan
Sir,
natin.
kung may
At lahat
violation,
ito dahil lamang sa isa sa mga kasamahan nila ay nakakulong o dinampot ng PNP kahapon.
Sir, parliamentary tool daw to, sabi ni SP Cayetano, para matuloy yung Blue Ribbon Committee hearing on Thursday at para di nyo daw po maagaw yung ibang committee na chairmanship, sabi po sa live niya kanina.
Abuse po yan ang sinasabi niyang parliamentary rules ng Senado. Hindi po namin hinahadlangan magpatuloy ang anumang pagdinig ng komite basta nasa tamang paraan. Mabutit binawi nila yung subcommittee. And the numbers will always speak for themselves. Habang ganito ang bilang namin, kami ang minority. Dapat siya rin, si Senate President, at ang majority, maging matapang harapin ang mandato o kakulangan ng mandato ng buong Senado dito sa floor.
Ang masakit niyan, imbis na pumasok siya rito, itong si SP Alan, sa Facebook siya, papasok. Dito dapat siya magsalita. Dito dapat siya mag-debate kung anong gusto niyang gawin. Huwag naman sa social media.
So kung may violations sa rules, ano yung pwedeng gawin dun sa pag hindi nila pagpasok ng ilang araw?
We will be tackling that hopefully by tomorrow. Dahil again, the rule and the rule says and the Constitution says that we should meet at 3 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. As a matter of fact, even Thursday should be a working day also to proceed.
And the mere fact na walang
We'll
consultation.
cross the bridge when we get there. We'll see.
At hinihiling po namin sa mga kasama namin na nagmamahal pa po sa Senado at nais magtrabaho para sa taong bayan. Pumasok po bukas, magkita-kita tayo dito, pwedeng pagdebatihan kahit anong bagay, pwede pong pag-usapan kahit anong bagay. Dito po kami magdiskusyonan dahil nandito po tayo para magtrabaho. Hinihikayat po namin lahat ng kasama namin na nagmamahal pa dito po sa Senado, pumasok tayo bukas, magtrabaho tayo para sa taong bayan.
At hinahabol ko si Alan Peter Cayetano, kung matapang ka, pumunta ka rito bukas, otherwise duwag ka.
Sir, if they will still not show up tomorrow, mag-a-adjourn without settling anything?
Kasi binabayaran tayo ng taong bayan.
Nakakahiya ito.
At bawat araw na hindi natutuloy ang session,
of summons given by the Senate Impeachment Court last May 20. In an executive summary document provided by Duterte's legal counsel Michael Poa, the VP's answer urged the court to junk the articles of impeachment, citing that those were, quote, constitutionally infirm, procedurally defective, and substantively deficient. The 11-member House prosecution panel is also expected to oppose this stance from the side of Duterte.
Definitely, if there will be move or request towards the dismissal of the impeachment complaint, i-oppose namin yun. I said it earlier that the Senate rules on impeachment does not speak about dismissal.
Some lawmakers also released statements regarding the VP's response. House Prosecutor Chel Jokno, in his statement, posed a question that if VP Sara has nothing to hide, why is she refusing trial? Meanwhile, prosecution spokesperson Zia Adyong said that the prosecutors will undertake a review of the submission of Duterte. The prosecution panel, nonetheless, continued to look straight ahead and prepare for the upcoming trial, which is expected to commence by July 6.
Dalhin ng mga pulis dito sa Sandigan Bayan para dumalo ng arraignment sa second division para yan sa kasong graft na itinampa sa kanya ng Office of the Ombudsman. Kasama rin ni Estrada yung kanyang anak na si Janela Estrada at yung kanilang mga abogado. At Ruth, ina-expect na dito sa arraignment ay maghahain ng plea. So either guilty or not guilty si Estrada sa kasong isinampa laban sa kanya. At dito rin babasahan ng formal nang babasahan si Estrada kung ano yung isinasampang kaso sa kanya at kailangan maunawaan ng korte na ito ay nauunawaan niya. At sa mga oras na ito ay Ruth, hindi pa nagsisimula itong arraignment pero matatandaan na merong pang mga pending motion itong kampo ni Estrada. Kabilang nga dyan yung inihain nilang omnibus motion para ipabasura ang mga kaso at ipawalang bisa ang case information na isinampa sa kanya ng Office of the Ombudsman. So ngayon, titignan na, inihintay natin kung tatalakayin ba muna itong mga pending motion ni Estrada bago simulan yung arraignment o gagawin na agad itong arraignment at formal na nga siyang babasahan ng sakdal. Good?
Teng, turuan mo yung mic ha. Turuan mo yung mic.
Nakakuha ka? Pareha, 3:30.